We are live, people. Let's go. It is, June 1st, and we are about to get into some Bitcoin technical analysis. Technically Tuesday. With Todd. There's too many T's in this situation, Todd.
Yeah, just a little bit.
just a couple
T-cube.
TTT, man. Oh, man, we're about to break into this and maybe even go into some DeFi stuff later. For now, we got some chart action going on, and let me single that out real quick because they don't need to see my face. They don't need to see me. Boom. So we're looking at BTC USD on Coinbase side. Is that what's going on here? Break it down for me.
That's correct. You can kind of see the exchange up there. I mean, I will sometimes look at different exchanges, but usually when I'm buying Bitcoin, I'm just using Coinbase. That's where I have it's like my fiat gateway. So, so when I bought the other day, I was using Coinbase anyways. I usually just look at the Coinbase chart, but there are slight differences between charts, but it's very minimal. Usually there are some arbitrage opportunities from time to time.
Gotcha.
So you just want me to kind of dive into this?
Yeah. There's a lot of lines going on, man. Left, right, up, down, A, B, A, B. It's a whole contra combination going on your chart.
Yeah, sure. Let me just kind of talk about some of the begin with. I don't really go too crazy with technicals. I try to keep it simple. I've used a lot of different technicals in the past, but I just find keeping things simple is all you really need to do. It's just technical analysis is a tool. It's not the be all when it comes to investing and trading. There's lots of other things that you can possibly use, but for the tool, that's why I like to keep it simple as just an approximation, just to get an idea of should I buy or should I not, or kind of what's going on with a market. Okay. So I'm just going to begin here just talking about let's start with the blue lines. So these are just marking price levels, and then one here at the very top is just marking the all-time high here at 65,102. The second blue line here, it's marking this local high here at 42.1. That was set back in January when we had that kind of first spike up, and then we had that kind of first I guess it's about 25-30% sell off down here. And then this third one, this goes back a little bit further. It goes back to, I go out to the daily here. It goes out to 2017 at the all-time high in 2017 here. So these are the three major levels I just kind of want to keep an eye on, and you kind of see how the price does kind of react to that. Well, let's just look at the 42 level. You'll see how of course this was the high, but then we kind of blasted through that. But when we kind of pulled back here, we did kind of hold this 42 line, and then we kind of sat along this. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. It was a brief pause, but we did pause here on that kind of sell off, and then once we broke through that, we did kind of sell off hard. Yeah. These orange lines that you see here, these are just trend lines. You can get a lot more micro than this, but I try to just keep some basic trend lines, some major trends. As you can see where on this crash, where we kind of hit this trend line right here, I actually drew this back in last year. So back when we were reaching the highs, getting close to the highs, I drew this trend line starting from the March 12th lows of 2020. As you can kind of see, we're kind of holding it, and then we kind of broke through, broke through this trend line. And Bitcoin was kind of weak relative to a lot of our stuff. This was actually when DeFi was kind of going crazy last summer, and then we kind of tested it. This became resistance. We kind of tested it here, and then we tested it again. And this is actually where I drew it when we kind of sold off kind of hard here. It's kind of let me zoom in here a little bit. Kind of sold off here. And then we kind of retested it again, and then once we broke through that, we were off to the races. So I drew this line some time ago, and then sure enough, on May 19th when we sold off so hard, that's exactly where we bounced. So it's a line that I drew months ago was just happened to be the support line. Doesn't always work out like that, but in this case it did. So another trend line here is, so I drew this trend line March of this year, March 2021. So there's a wedge here forming, and I just kind of wanted to see if we could break through that. If we broke through that, then maybe we could go higher. If not, keep on selling off. And so I kind of drew it right around this period in March. And then once it broke through, we kind of did go make a new high here, but we didn't have enough momentum to continue that. And then we kind of failed, and we kind of broke this smaller trend. But we did hold this line here. As you can see, we bounced off this line, and then we're holding this line again, and then we kind of came off these lows. Then we tried it again, and then we just broke through and we dumped to this line. So this is kind of like what the trend lines are here for, just kind of like a general approximation of like where is like kind of like the market, where's resistance, where the support is. And then this yellow line and this purple line, it's set for 250-day period. So the purple line is 50-day moving average here on the daily chart, and the yellow is 200-day moving average. I like the moving averages. Just you'll see that they actually are sometimes important. Sometimes they're not, but like sometimes when you just look at a chart real quick, I'm looking at this and I see the 50-day so much higher than the 200-day. That suggests to me that Bitcoin is overvalued. You were mentioning earlier about RSI, like before we went live here, and this is kind of like what RSI is measuring a little bit, depending on like your time frame. But you look at this, like yes, like it's well overextended here. When we're up here, yeah, we're definitely due for like a fall and some consolidation, because this line needs to come down closer to this yellow line. They need to converge before we'll probably start heading higher, and that'll probably eventually happen like over here and stuff like that. But it's hard to say. I am wrong a lot, so I mean, it's just a tool. It's just a tool to just try to like go from making a 50-50 call to maybe a put like 65% in your favor or 70% in your favor, and that's all you're trying to do when you're trading or investing. Just have more things in your favor when you're making a call. Because if you're gonna put money down, like it's best to have more things in your favor than against your favor. If that makes any sense.
No, that totally makes sense. I mean, it's no way it's going to be 100% guaranteed that any of this is right, because there's some fundamental factors outside of this that can drive things one way or the other. So having just a little bit more conviction one way versus the other is a big deal. So what are you reading from this basically as? Is it going to fall to the hells, or is it going to the heavens at this point, or mooning, as everybody likes to say?
So I mean, like I said, like TA is just a tool. So there are other factors in play. Like fundamentally, like there is so much more like large institutions who are now just starting to get into this, getting into crypto, that I feel this bull run is going to be slightly different than other bull runs, where it's going to be a little bit more prolonged. Yes, technically we are now in a bear market, but before we have that like 80% 3-year bear market, I think this is not one of those. I think this is more of one of those random 30 to 50% sell-offs that Bitcoin always has. Like I have them actually marked over here back in 2017. All these instances, like this is a 38% drop, 35% drop, 32%, 41%, 41%, 31%. 31%, and then 47% sell-offs, all during like the crypto bull market of 2017, all the way to its rise to 20,000. So, as anyone who's been in crypto for a while, crypto's volatile. Bitcoin's volatile. So I do think there's a lot of institutional support. And then on this day, when we hit 30,000, there's a lot of support here. Like we shot all the way back up to like 42,000 on that day. We went bam, and we shot all the way back up. That suggests to me there's a lot of support here at 30. And then we did retest the lows here on it was that Sunday, because this is when I did my buying on this dip here. Kind of like a thing to keep in mind when you do have a sharp sell-off like this, you're always going to have like a retest of the lows. It might not always go down to lows, but you're going to have a retest. And this was like the retest. And I mentioned in the 3 different Telegram groups that I do talk about crypto in, that we would have an opportunity to retest. I said that on this day, and we did have an opportunity to retest. And this is when I picked up a little bit of Bitcoin at 32.5, and I picked up some Ethereum at 18.50. Mm-hmm. So I got some decent deals there on that day. And if you were buying like in some of the alts too, some of them were making their lows on that day as well. Like Ethereum was making its lows on this day, not on this day. So the alts was the time to buy on that Sunday. They're hitting their lows then. I think we're going to go higher, but I mean, if there's something more systematic that's going to hit all markets, like outside of crypto, we could go lower. Kind of like a March 2020 type of deal. But I do think there's a lot of support, and I mean, I could be wrong, but I do think we have the opportunity to go higher here. But it kind of depends what's going to happen. We had this like kind of triangle here forming, mm-hmm. And if we break higher, we could do one of these and just kind of consolidate and just kind of work our way up this line. But if we do break lower than this line, then yeah, we'll probably go go lower into the 20s. So this is like your support. This is your resistance. We're getting closer to that. The apex of this is the end of the month. We'll probably know within a week or two if we're going to be going higher or lower. I personally think we're going to go higher, but it's not going to be like a shoot up. Probably not. We're probably going to consolidate. Like I said, we need to wait for this purple line to converge with this yellow line a little bit more. But yeah, I do think we're going to go higher here. But just going to be, a couple months of kind of churn chops. And this is the opportunity to find good projects that are on sale.
Yep. It's a good time to definitely look up some sale situations right now if you were dabbling in anything, including Bitcoin. I mean, honestly, it's like almost half off, And if you were complaining that you were late, maybe you consider it now that you have an opportunity to jump in at a lower cost. You did speak on the altcoins, and they are partially dying right now. And first off, let me say this. I do think you're on to something with the institutions, and I do think they're hopping in right now, those who thought they were missing out. And they might, to me, I don't think it could if it jumps to the 20s, it's not going to stay there because that institutional demand is high. And I feel like they also know that if it goes anywhere low into the 20s, they're going to scare off all the people they want to sell the actual Bitcoin to, right? If something breaks down that much, 60, 70%, everybody who thought they were going to get into it is going to be like, I can't sustain that type of loss. So I think they're going to prop it up for us for once. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of these like iBanks, they have like 6-figure price targets for Bitcoin, like $150,000, $200,000 price targets.
Right.
So they're looking at this like, well, where it's going to 200,000, now it's 50% off. Now's the time to buy. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're doing right now with this kind of sell-off. This is the time to buy for them. Another thing I do mention is like volume. Volume is actually quite important as well. Of course, you had all this volume, but you had all this volume right here is also kind of like the support level volume. So this is kind of important as well to keep an eye on. One thing you guys might have heard, this is one of the most popular technical patterns called like head and shoulders. Yeah. I kind of saw this head and shoulders forming, but I was kind of sometimes one of the hardest parts about trading / investing is your mind gets in the way. Like you start like getting emotional stuff about things, or you start rationalizing various like behavioral biases. So sometimes like you're like, okay, this looks like a head and shoulders that's forming, but maybe it's just going to keep on going higher. Like you're looking over here, keep on going higher. But this is like your classic head and shoulders. Like you have shoulder, head, shoulder, and then breakdown.
Right.
So a head and shoulders pattern is a reversal pattern. So you're going up, you got this head on kind of decent volume, then you make a new high on lower volume. If you look down here, the volume's actually lower on this head than it was on this initial shoulder. Then you have like one more attempt at trying to go these highs, but like basically the buying pressure has kind of gone away, and then it becomes more selling pressure. There's something called reverse head and shoulders for a downward movement, but yeah, this is a classic head and shoulders pattern here. And I'm kind of annoyed with myself for like, I saw this coming and I should have taken a little bit more profit than I did. Gotcha. But this is it's always a learning game. You're always reevaluating what you've done in the past and see if you can improve for sometime in the future.
Right. Have you noticed sometimes that it's like really depends on what time frame you're looking at? Like what time frame are you on now versus if you'd have zoomed in a little bit closer on a more finer time frame? Is that possibly why you missed the head and shoulders for this dump that happened, which also was triggered by Elon?
That's definitely a thing. This is the daily. I do like looking at daily for like longer term. You can also look at the weekly, which kind of gives you even a more idea. If you look at the weekly, it was kind of obvious we're going to sell because like we just had so many green bars going up.
Almost
but like I got myself caught in too much of like the shorter time frames, like looking at like the 30 minutes. And so when you're looking at like sometimes micro, you sometimes miss the bigger picture. So yeah, looking at the 30-minute, 4 hours. Sometimes I like to trade futures on KuCoin, so that's why I'm always looking at 30 minutes because I'm usually like holding those positions just for a few days. I can have fun with the 5x leverage. I don't recommend it for everybody.
Ooh, leverage. Yeah, it can hurt, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
well,
I got smacked on that sharp sell off a few weeks ago. So in my KuCoin account, but it happens, and you just kind of live for another day. You never risk anything you're not willing to lose anyway. So if I lose everything my KuCoin account, I wouldn't lose as night of sleep anyway. So it's not really that big of a deal. I just kind of have fun with it.
yeah,
Just try to make a little extra money on the side.
that makes sense. That makes so much sense. And I feel like you're having a lot of fun in the DeFi space. And before we go into that, let me just say to whoever is watching that, yeah, this was like Bitcoin TA that we were doing. Feel free to rewind to catch some gems that he was dropping on how to evaluate these charts. But we're about to get real degenerate and go deep, deep into the DeFi space where everything is like the wild, wild west, which is really what's going to happen when the banks get their hands on some more Bitcoin. They're going to pretty much do what DeFi is doing. And if somebody wanted to break down, can you describe DeFi real short elevator pitch style? What's DeFi, Todd?
Well, DeFi is short for decentralized finance.
Mhm.
So with decentralized finance, there's no central third party. It's all party to party, and like the third party would be smart contracts. So most of it's built on Ethereum, but like a lot's been building up on Binance Smart Chain. But Binance Smart Chain isn't exactly decentralized. It does kind of have a centralized kind of portion there with Binance, but like other projects like Polkadot's like kind of popping up, and it looks like Cardano's on the verge of having projects start launching on Cardano. Avalanche already has some exchanges on Avalanche with their Ethereum bridge. Gotcha. You can now like trade Ethereum tokens on Avalanche, which is kind of awesome. So it's growing to other chains, but right now most of the DeFi is on Ethereum, and it's just basically utilizing smart contracts to basically make trades or yield farm or any other kind of things like that.
Gotcha. Yep, DeFi, the wild, wild west. Like I said, it's the future though. It's future of banking. It's definitely something that I know the banks are trying to figure out for themselves to make money while we're making money. Let me zoom in on this chart, and we are on. What are we on here, Todd?
So this is Dex Tools. I really like this tool. I've been using it since like last October. Launched last October, and it's just a tool where you have like your charts for a lot of stuff you can't get on TradingView. But like for example, OCC, like you can't find this chart on TradingView. If I go back over to TradingView, like. I lied. I guess you can't get it on here.
TradingView's updating like crazy, man. They never stop trying to add stuff.
This is a bigger DeFi project, so it doesn't surprise me that you can get it on. It's probably popping up on other exchanges. But a lot of stuff you can't necessarily get on TradingView because they're kind of too small projects. Right. I have a thing for like these like microcap projects that are sometimes like $10, $20 million. So they might not be like on like TradingView because they're not being traded on any of the bigger exchanges. So you can have like charts that you can't normally get. Kind of look at projects. These are like kind of a hot list. These are like the most looked at like projects of the day on Uniswap. So there's a lot of like sometimes you'll see like rug pulls and stuff up in his list. So
and for those who don't know, it's literally think about you getting a rug pull from
just I wanted to see exactly the whole process. If they're like $100 at knowing I was going to lose it or make like $1,000, so I figured what the heck not. Yeah. I can get quite degenerate when it comes to this. But so this is Dex Tools. Chart over here is like the most recent trade. Now this is just looking at Uniswap's trades, but they do have like SushiSwap and Binance Smart Chain. You can kind of look at stuff. Mm-hmm. If like you're looking at it, like, oh, this is looking good, you want to make a trade, click on trade, and it just pulls you right up to Uniswap. This is like Uniswap's V3. You got to connect to your wallet. I'm already connected here. I use MetaMask, but like I use a hard wallet, so like I wouldn't be able to actually make a transaction unless I sign on my hard wallet with MetaMask. Mm-hmm. But I use like my MetaMask. I have a little bit of Ether here, just for basically this is my trading Ether. If you guys knew how much Ether I'd spent on Uniswap, I think you'd all cry for me.
Is it the fees?
Well over $10,000 in Ethereum fees, just making trades.
Man, I'm hearing people losing money, like literally try to do a trade, put $1,000 on a fee when we were crashing a week ago, and they would lose 1,000 and the trade wouldn't execute.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, it's early days in this. Y'all better be ready to lose something. But yeah.
Well, here's one good thing. Look at the GUE. It has a GUE price up here. It's quite low right now, 19 GUE. I haven't seen this low since last summer. So
Okay. Yeah. That does seem like a low number to be trading. Whatever that translates to, I can't even. Yeah, you about to go to GUE to USD price.
Yeah, 19 GUE would be. I just got a gas tracker here. Well, actually, I just pulled up. I like using this tool just like when I'm trying to time on the Ethereum blockchain. So this is showing you like.
Oh, they have the visual just like Bitcoin does. Nice.
Yeah,
it's
so
both.
This is like the GUE for. This is the current price for this current block. So that's like median contract fee right now is about $7, which is amazing because I haven't paid less than $20 in for so long. So if you're looking to like do some stuff on DeFi right now is a good time because gas is low, and which is suggesting to me that we're probably getting close to like stuff turning around because people are going to say, oh, gas prices are low now, start to like trade again.
Yeah.
On Ethereum.
Definitely. That is a big factor. And I think why people are on Binance Smart Chain, the fees on Ethereum kind of pushed them there. And then,
exactly.
And then now it's just like anybody who can promise something better is like winning. So I'm curious to see what will happen to Cardano. But some of these DeFi tokens, they're degenerates anyway with their hit themselves when they created this coin. So, and they're expecting no one to care to leave because they're going to make big gains, I guess. But anyway, let's go into one of these coins, man.
Keanu, I'm guessing has something to do with Keanu Reeves.
Meme society all the way. Renato on here. Appreciate you joining the chat, man. For those who are watching, we are doing some TA right now. We did Bitcoin earlier. Now we're doing some DeFi projects. Wild west side of the game right here with the DeFi stuff.
so what I'm using this and why I like Dex tools because it has like so many different little features. Like, okay, I just pulled up this random coin. Don't know what the heck it is. Right, my first thought, like I see this, I'm like, well, this is a rug pull. This is a pump and dump to the T. So yeah, so we'll probably pump this up to like something over here and make like hundreds of thousands of dollars off of people who just ape into this. But like you can kind of take a look at the contract. So you just view contract and it pulls up the Etherscan. Don't know how many people are familiar with Etherscan, but it tells you a lot. So right here is like max total supply. I hate seeing coins like this. I stay away from when I see a max supply this high. This tells me this is a scam and a half. You can see how many there's 15,000 holders of this already, which is like shocking. There's like awesome projects which have a fraction of the number of holders. This is like a crap scam that has like thousands of people already, thousands of addresses at least holding this project. You kind of see some different stuff. I don't know how often people look at Etherscan, but Etherscan it's good to get familiar with it. It can be kind of daunting at first, but just looking at all the different transactions that have happened for this token, for the smart contract.
Some very fundamental stuff to do when you're on the degenerate side of the world, but I like it. I like it. This is what people should really do when they're investing in the regular altcoins and think about stuff. But this place is making it easier. What Dex tools? It's definitely making it convenient. Dex tools.
So this is actually it's a token. If you actually hold the token, you can get like if you hold 5,000, you get like a discount on the monthly service. Like it's free, but you get like more features. Like you see, I have like a watch list. I think the free version you only get like 4 on your watch list. It's just like you get like wallet. You can like do wallet info. So like. I have like my wallets here that I can kind of like keep track of different stuff I have, and all kinds of different stuff. And like sometimes I'll like look at like say sometimes I'm looking at a chart or looking at like a project and I'm seeing a whale that maybe dumps regularly on a basis. I may mark that wallet and just keep an eye on that whale to see when is he dumping or is he buying. So you can kind of look at whales wallets and you can kind of just mark it like a wallet and it'll pop up here whenever like a transaction is being made. So sometimes it's that type of research. Now I bought Dex when it was a lot cheaper. That's one thing. Even though with this crash, I'm still up like 10x from like more than a year or less than a year ago. So like I it's one of the reasons why I'm probably so calm about the crash is because like
you've seen it all.
Yeah, and like I'm still like I'm still up a lot from like just January 1st. So gotcha. Maybe that's why I'm a little too casual maybe with the sell-off,
but you need that though. You need, like you said earlier, you got to stick to your guns and stop trying to like push it. Read the chart, see what the chart says. If it happens, get out. If it didn't happen, well, I don't know, decide later. But take the wins. take the wins.
So yeah, I picked up like 20,000 of this, which is like lifetime basic. As long as you hold 20,000, you get like to use all the features for free. There's like a 100,000 level where you actually get like revenue from the exchange, so you actually get to distribute the revenue to people who have 100,000 or more. I didn't buy 100,000 at a time. I just bought like 25,000, and I sold 5,000 around like up here. Just so like I basically covered my investment and then got some profit and moved that into some other stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I bought down here, sold like my 5, and I just hoarded all my other 20,000, just just because I like using the tool. So it has a lot of utility.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. This is what I enjoy about the alt space, right? The ideas are flourishing. Like I thought Binance hit like the best stride when they figured out that they could use their coins as cheaper for trades, and I was just like, that's so smart. Now every DEX or exchange is coming up with new ways to make it make sense to hold their token. I missed out on Binance coin. I never thought they could burn enough to make it make sense to me, and somehow I am kicking myself because I remember Binance going at $8, and now you're telling me about this DEX thing. I need to see what the active users are, the monthly amount of users are, and I might be doing some degenerate-ish stuff soon with this token if nobody else is doing it and doing it better. So anyway, back to you doing this GA, but you just opened my eyes to something.
It's funny you mentioned Binance. In 2019, there was 2 coins that were like obvious buys. If you knew a little bit about technicals, one was Binance Smart Chain, or not Binance, Binance Coin, BNB. And I didn't buy it just because like it was right around that time they started getting kind of like we're not gonna allow Americans use our exchange. I've still been able to use it. I usually using a VPN, but because I have a legacy account, I guess I can still use it. But like I got worried about this. I didn't want to hold a coin that I had to hold on the exchange. The other was Chainlink. If you want, I can kind of show you real quick what I was looking at back in 2019.
Oh, for sure.
But I got on Chainlink when it was like sub 50 cents.
Oh Lord. Oh God, I just did the math on that. I'm sorry, my head just exploded. I know. Renata was in Harmony early, but I don't know if it was as early as you in Chainlink, bro. Like you said earlier, damn.
So in 2019, like beginning 2019, like January 2019, I looked at like the top 100 coins on CoinMarketCap / CoinGecko. I just wanted to just look at like the charts of everyone. And I just like kind of started from scratch. Well, I was just trying to rebalance my portfolio. And I saw this with Chainlink. See, like this is my 50-day, and it was sitting above the 200-day, like here in like February, March of 2019. So during this period, I just kept on buying it. But I made like 3 or 4 purchases of it, all under like 50 cents. And Binance Coin had the same thing. Look at Binance here. So 2019, Binance had a much better 2019 than Chainlink did, but it had this like its 50-day again was like so again if you're looking like March, its 50-day was above the 200-day. Every other coin that I looked at, its 50-day was below its 200-day. So Binance and Chainlink were both relatively strong relative to every other crypto there was. And sure enough, like, you look where Binance is at now today. I mean, could have bought Binance anytime in 2019 it had this huge run up, but still it was like all under $50. And now look at Binance, it like hit like $700. Chainlink, under 50 cents, hit $50. I mean, it's massive, 10x, or 1,000x here. I ended up having in this. So like, this is why I have the moving averages, because like I could just like go through 100 charts real quick, and I could just see like, oh wow, this looks like normal. This 50 days actually above the 200-day. This is a little bit stronger. I like using moving averages. It's not for everyone. This is like the one kind of like a little bit more. It's not even that advanced, but a little bit more of a besides the basic trend lines, volume, and price levels that I do look at, just because I do find it kind of valuable. Yeah, let's go back to degen stuff.
The degens. Yeah, definitely good stuff. And thanks Jose for joining. You got a lot of it. Oh, this morning you talking about one, or are you talking about the degen coins that we're talking over here? Not sure, but anyway, thanks for joining the chat, guys. We're definitely talking some TA. We moved over from Bitcoin to the degenerate stuff in the DeFi space, and we're on Dex Tool getting all this good information from Todd. Appreciate it, Todd.
Yeah, no problem. Where else do you want me to go? I mean, it's kind of like it's crypto. There's like so many avenues.
Right. Hey, is one on here? Let's talk about one because Renato is big into that one. Or loot. He said something about loot going 100x since yesterday. I mean, sorry, 100%. Since he got on one, which is like I guess it's its own exchange, really. So, or its own platform, I should say.
It's an NFT project.
Nah, it's probably.
Or is it like this finance one?
That's a good question. I have no freaking clue what it is. If it's not, is it on there? It's loot's on there.
I mean, I see two different loots here.
Oh,
this one has like those transactions.
Gotcha. So they even compare right there for you to see in the search.
Does this look right?
I guess. I'm so far away from the degen stuff that I am like chilling, not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Now, ignorance is bliss right now when it comes to DeFi. So maybe it is that because they are artists in both Jose and Renato, so they might actually be they're into NFTs, sustainable NFTs. I hope. I'm just kidding. But
so
yeah,
like one of the first things I do when I look at a project, I go straight to like CoinGecko, and I see this. Wow, less than $1 million market cap. That's pretty degenerate. I love that. Total supply 40,000. That's sometimes kind of fun too. Getting these like small like supplies, and then like you get these like crazy high numbers. Like you think of like Yearn Finance, right? Like 50-some thousand supply.
Yeah.
So
I just invited him in to explain himself.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
What's
How
up?
are we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
It's good talk right now. I don't think that's the loot I'm talking about specifically, but it's not even listed.
Oh damn, yo! So he's super DJ, yo. So how are you getting? You want to share how you're getting info on loot so early if it's not even anywhere to be found?
They just launched yesterday, and Loot Swap. I'm just going to basically show my screen.
Okay, feel free.
This is the I believe the fourth DEX on Harmony One, which is also one of those things you mentioned. Like some of these competitors against ETH are starting to pop up with their own yield farming. What makes this so great, I'll actually demonstrate it right now. I can turn 100 Harmony One into one Aave, 1 inch, all of these ERC20s, which are now HRC20s and have been converted via the bridge, and it's zero gas fees. So because we're going to use the native DEX token, which is Loot on the Harmony exchange, which just came out yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and swap, confirm swap, price impact, liquidity provider fee, 0.31, very small amount of money there. And, unexpected issue with gas. Let's try it again. My wallet, let's just double check. We're all good. Maybe we just need a little refresh. It knows I'm being watched now.
Yep, it's like, look, I'm not about to show all the secrets.
Hey man,
you're giving away the insight.
Too much sauce.
Todd already gave away so much. It's like like my stream should have blew up a while ago.
So it's waiting for the confirmation. Do you see the MetaMask window?
No, only still waiting for confirmation, which we don't need to really see your MetaMask. People probably.
Okay. It says basically zero gas fees. So it's just saying it's worth 101. That's all you're basically exchanging, and essentially there's no gas fee here. So that's what people want when we're talking about an ETH 2.0, but they're just not delivering. It's been, I think, about 4 years since they said they would kind of get that. I mean, it's already there, but I mean, unless you had 32 Ethereum, I think in October, I can't remember when they launched, you're not getting it. So you can see I only have 39 Harmony One now, and we have 5 loot. But this was, I'm going to show you the stats here. This is the price. This was 80 cents yesterday. Now it's $1.71. Similarly, however, in Viper Swap, this was $1.20. Now it is 78 cents. And this was the first DEX to really get a lot of attention from a lot of people. And a lot of people to basically just kind of have their like degenerate kind of like mining and farming going on using the Viper protocol, which was also going to have a Binance Smart Chain protocol called Cobra, which has not been released yet. I think the team is focusing mainly on Viper right now. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options out there in terms of yield farming, and I think a lot of people are looking towards that now. And who knows, man? I mean, it's just an interesting turn of events in the market.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming in 2017. Todd, what's your thoughts on this exchange here? You feeling itchy to jump in?
No, like I've been seeing all kinds of different bridges and different type of blockchains coming off their own kind of exchanges. I'm definitely going to take a deeper look. I've been trying to stay away from Binance Smart Chain just because like I find so much like shadiness when it comes to Binance. I'm getting excited about Avalanche. I have a sizable stake in Avalanche and their Ethereum bridge. I'm excited what's going to go on on that side. Obviously, they're with the L2 solutions like Matic/Polygon, whatever you want to call it. They're I mean that's also dirt cheap transaction fees on Matic as well. So that's what I think the next phase of DeFi is going to be, all this like cross chain stuff, and a lot of projects are trying to be more cross chain and be able to kind of bounce around. Unfortunately though, like Ethereum it has a gas problem, but the thing is, a lot of big time players are now going into Ethereum. So look for higher gas fees in the future. Just like when you only do different Wall Street people, like I think Carl Icahn came out the other day talking about how he thinks Ethereum's, that's the sexy bet in crypto now.
The next best thing. You miss Bitcoin, you get some Ethereum. That's how people are like the wealthy are looking at it. They're like so behind on the thought process that we can predict what they're going to jump into, and Ether would probably be it for the future degen wealthy.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, man. Well, I've been enlightened. Y'all make me really want to jump into DeFi and be reckless like all of you. But I'm trying to be safe. It's definitely a party. I don't doubt it. It's just that I don't like getting flipped upside down and land on my head. Like these rug pulls are aggressive.
The good thing about these is that the one thing I found on the Harmony side of things is that there's a 95% lockup for your tokens until Christmas. So a lot of that doesn't get rug pulled. So you do get kind of this protection. 5% immediately available. But I mean, if you get in early, you can make a nice little hefty bag that you can invest in, and then you just wait till Christmas. So I mean,
gotcha.
A little
they're
Christmas
doing
present.
Something, man. I'm super excited for all these attempts that they're trying to make DeFi more legitimate, or at least more interesting. I don't know. It's something that I can look forward to possibly converting to Bitcoin or Bitcoin adopting in the future.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if they get the Bitcoin bridges and you can just, hedge some of that Bitcoin and have it gain interest, that's great. I mean, I see that some things is Polygon doing that? Do we know, Todd?
Man, Poly. You know anything about Polygon, Todd?
AKA Matic.
Do you know what is Polygon?
Is Matic doing any type of Bitcoin bridge yet?
That I do not know. There was a project. I can't remember it right now. I think it's called Definity. I think they're working on like kind of like a bridge with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice to have some Bitcoin bridges.
The Harmony ecosystem is working on it. Yeah, the Harmony system is actually working on that actively. They finished the Ethereum one. Now they're moving on to the Bitcoin one. So,
you know what's interesting? This could beat Lightning. What if it's one of these coins that beats Lightning to the punch and figures out how to like secure? It'll be so crazy to get adopted by masses more than Lightning is. And I just like, damn, should we just start using Harmony One instead of Lightning Network?
I mean, Stephen Say, he worked for Apple, he worked for Microsoft, he worked for like Google. He had a big hand in Google Maps. Like he's not very very well versed in very difficult technical apps that have broad range and global use. So I don't know. So far, I've been pretty satisfied with what they've been doing. I mean, they launched in a bear market and they're still doing good stuff. So
that's the time. That's the time that instead of hodl, they say biddle, like build in the bear market. I'll tell you, crypto, it's just all meme culture and degenerate talk in this entire space. But you can make money, and you just gotta be patient and don't try to put more money than you can willingly lose. I guess it's not financial advice. Do what you want. We just went through Bitcoin TA and some DeFi TA and dropped some gems on y'all like Harmony One and the Dex tool situation that I might be diving into sooner or later. Not trying to miss like another Binance essentially, but another BNB. Who knows?
Yield farm responsibly, not financial advice.
Yeah, that's funny.
And make sure you research everything before even getting the yield farming. It took me like a month, and that was on Ethereum, and I was losing hundreds of dollars per transaction. So definitely research what ecosystem you're using.
Yeah, one of these days we're gonna come up with who got the biggest loss wins. We'll put in a pot of like random cryptos, and we'll say if you can prove your biggest loss, you win the pot.
Me, actually.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like when I the first yield farm I did was actually last summer with Ampleforth, and I got wrecked with impermanent loss, all that type of stuff. But I just kept on like chugging through for a few months, so like I kind of broke even. And then I got this like airdrop of like the fourth governance token, like a month or two ago, or not a month, 5-6 weeks ago. It was like $25,000 just like gifted to me for like free. It's just like,
beautiful.
Damn, all it did was like, did some yield farming that like I kind of lost a little bit of money, didn't work out at all, and
in my throat.
That's the thing about it. I mean, when you do participate so early in these projects, like Todd is saying, you do get some of these rewards. I mean, the Uniswap drop, for instance, was like, oh my god, they're giving away free money. But like, I mean, look at if you held on to that, that's like what. It was 400 that they dropped. How much Uniswap did they
it was 400. People? I sold them all immediately, and I'm like, regretting at least not coin on a little bit.
If you held that, you could have had 40 times 400, 16,000? 16,000 USD.
I had like multiple wallets. I got like multiple airdrops for that too. I had like
And if you use that to buy the dip on Bitcoin at 30K, I mean, you have half a Bitcoin.
See, bring it all back to the king. Bitcoin, more look. At the end of the day, I'm okay with the degenerates as long as they're not jumping into something that's really depreciating even more than Bitcoin. Like you need to be jumping into some more Bitcoin. Don't go to the dollar if you have some sense. Not financial advice. You should think about using your gains to see if you can increase that Bitcoin position. All right.
Research is like important. And that's kind of what I was trying to show a few little things. That's what I like about Dex tools. It makes it like kind of a little bit easier. Like puts all the research stuff right there. Like just know how to like look at some of like these things. Like that one chart I pulled up was like, it looks just straight up scammy. Kind of get an idea of what you're looking for. Like, like when you see like a lot of zeros and then like a one, that's a scam. They're trying to like trick you into like, oh, this is so cheap, it's going to go to like $10,000 like Bitcoin or $50,000 like Bitcoin. But it's not. They're just trying to get it to go to like 3 digits instead of 1 digit, and it's scammy. They're just trying to trick people, and
yeah. 100%.
That's why I tune out. I know whatever people's thoughts about XRP is. I mean, that's what tunes me off, man. The marketing from some of these people on YouTube. $10,000 XRP. No, man, not realistic. Stop making your coin look bad. Like it's not good for the community.
Be more XRP billionaires out there.
Nothing wrong with XRP. I mean, I know some people really enjoy it and they see some value in it. I necessarily don't have too much faith in it. I don't hold it. So not financial advice, just, what I see in the community.
Yeah. Who needs it when you got stable coins? Well, this is how I think about it. That the premise just doesn't make sense if stable coins can be transferred just as easily and never fluctuate. Maybe it's not as cheap, but that's the future to tell. Anyway, guys, we're about to run up on that 45-minute mark. Lovely conversation. I've learned a lot, and that's usually at the end of the day all I care about, because if nobody watches this, it doesn't matter. I've increased my knowledge and probably increased my wealth at the same time. Feel free to follow these guys. I don't even know if they want to be followed. Actually, don't even follow them. Look, just
we'll just pop on by.
Right,
it's like Space Just Coast to Coast.
Yeah, I have nowhere to follow me. I don't care if you follow.
don't follow me. That's how they love to do it, right? Pop on, give you a quick alert, let y'all know what's going on, and then run off on the plug. Like I'm out. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. This has been Technical Tuesdays on the Investment Cipher. Oh, one more thought.
There is one bit of news. Zilliqa has partnered with the NFL for fantasy football.
Get the I was about to curse on here. Todd, feel free to drop. I gotta say that to this guy real fast. What? I'm about to cut this into another episode. Zilliqa did really? Did Zilliqa announce it or the NFL announce it? Who announced it?
Zilliqa, and it's on their Twitter, the official verified Twitter.
Isn't Zilliqa? Wait,
they're also the one that had FIFA as well.
What? They bypassed Ethereum and just said Zilliqa because the sharding. What did they do first?
They're fast. They're fast, man.
I think they did sharding.
Low fees.
Yeah, it's a thing. Zilliqa is a thing. Here's my problem, right? Only reason why I hate it because they transferred from the Ethereum blockchain to their own blockchain, and I don't know where that wallet is.
Oh no!
So yeah, just like I had to fight to find my Dogecoin wallet from 2014, I'm about to fight to find the Zilliqa wallet. Mind you, I didn't get much off my Doge wallet, so
it's getting pretty crazy out there.
Yeah. I gotta get into understanding what's going on in this world. There's so much adoption. Sheets starting to get used Bitcoin as payments. Got gas stations accepting Bitcoin. I'm about to fill up my car and literally fueled by Bitcoin.
That's the most expensive gas tank.
Gas chain. What are you saying, Todd?
Oh no! Don't give them an idea.
No, sorry. Yeah, cut that off. You ain't hear me. You ain't hear none of that.
No.
Might as well copyright that now.
No, I went to high school, some of the grandkids of the founder sheets.
Oh, you know the what? You know the peep? Man, did you convince them to do that? Is that what it is?
No. It's just they're from my hometown. That's all.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, oh man. Wait, where did Sheets start?
Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I was worried. I was thinking Sheets is East Coast, but yeah, Zilliqa partnering with the NFL. That's big news, man. That dropped today.
It should be on their Twitter, and that was a few days ago.
Okay.
I think I dropped it in our personal chat. Let me try and look it up for you real quick.
Timing is everything. You can't drop that type of news during a bearish situation like this.
Oh, they did though.
They wilded. Like they should have just waited till we started rebounding and then talk about Zilliqa as the greatest thing since sliced bread and how it's better than Ethereum. And then people would have been like, what? Now they're scared out of buying anything but Bitcoin or even anything. So, yeah, but that's definitely. Are you about to technical the hell out of this, Zilliqa?
They're holding up pretty well on the BTC chart. I'm not going to lie. So their SAT count is pretty decent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it looks like Ultimate Franchise Fantasy Sports and Zilliqa have partnered with the NFL Alumni Association to launch a revolutionary Legends League on the Ultimate Franchise Fantasy Sports platform. So let me send that to you via message.
That's nuts.
It'll be in the main chat.
Cool beans. That is nuts. I mean, that's big news. They definitely doing something. I'm not gonna hold it against them that, you know, if their marketing team is that successful at pulling big time players like that they won't pump. I'll say that for now.
VeChain is also looking really healthy too, I gotta say.
So let's not go there. I'm mad at VeChain. Let's just on the way out, Todd. What are you thinking about that chart though? Before if you go to VeChain, we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole.
This chart looks like just like Bitcoin's chart. There's, it looks like a buying opportunity if you you want to buy it for a long term. I know some people are really into this crypto, so we kind of keep an eye on it. I don't own any, but I have thought about it. It's again the 50 days overextended. This 200 day. This had a great run. You could have got it. Couple cents, went all the way up to 25 cents. That's a huge gain. It's just pulling back. If you want it long term, it's a buying opportunity. If you think it's going to go up in the long term.
Gotcha. Yep. It could be.
It's not Matic.
It's not Matic. Is that what you just said?
Look at this. This is a lot healthier chart.
Why? Why is that? Okay, not from a chart perspective. I'm looking at it fundamentally. Is does Mark Cuban have anything to do with this? Do you think?
I don't really care about Mark Cuban.
You care about his chart. That's why we're here.
Because, like, I don't know. I don't really
it's
care
a good
what
layer
people
2
say
solution
public,
to Ethereum.
they always have an agenda.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, like, I just ignore it. I mean, they're usually like just if we had an actual SEC that, like, would actually, like, punish people for doing illegal stuff, like pump and dump stuff, like Elon Musk does. Like, not only does Elon Musk do it for crypto, he does it for Tesla all the time too. But if we had an actual SEC that actually, went after those guys, you wouldn't have as many people just trying to influence the markets like that. I look at this chart though, and I'm like, well, we just sold off hard, and it's almost back up to, like, I mean, this is very healthy looking chart relative to, like, a lot of the other stuff. I mean, look at, like, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's all the way down here from its highs, whereas, like, Matic, it's like, almost got up to its highs. I mean, it's making a kind of big triangle here.
Yeah, it looks like it's what do you guys call consolidating? Am I getting that one right?
Yeah.
Yay. So, I mean, I'm starting to learn. Yay.
I really wish I got that.
And like, people, we were talking about earlier about, like, Ethereum and the gas fees being so high. And this is one of the solutions. It's built on top of Ethereum, actually.
They're not going to become their own thing?
Yeah, it's a layer 2 on Ethereum. It's its own chain built on top of Ethereum.
That's nuts.
So so Polygon is its layer 2 chain, which is just, now you can, like Quick Swap's like the big exchange on it. You just need to move your Ethereum assets over, to bridge it over to L2, and you can trade on, like, Quick Swap and start building stuff on a layer 2 solution, and it's a lot cheaper. Your native token is obviously the Matic token, so it's a lot cheaper than paying with Ethereum, and the gas fees are a lot less, and there's less congestion and all that type of stuff.
And I think they have more solid projects than I think Harmony One has right now. The problem with Harmony One, and I think why Matic is winning, is because we see a lot more innovation, a lot more people kind of grounded within Matic. But I think, the more developers that get onto, like, these zero gas fee or low gas fee protocols that kind of do that layer 2, I think we're going to see even more innovation that's not prevented by that paywall, at least what we have right now.
Yep, that is it. Well, this question I don't think can be answered. I'm not going to butcher that first part of the name. Malik. Cannot be answered. Long term, you got to build your own conviction on that one.
It's always good to diversify.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, and then compare everything you think about picking up to Bitcoin, because it's proven itself for the last 11 years. And if you decide to get anything other than that, well, if you're not comparing it to the king of crypto, you might get lost in the sauce, because maybe Bitcoin's doing it better. Maybe. But yeah, it's hard to answer that question.
It's always good to diversify. You always have a little bit of Bitcoin. You always have a little bit of a stable coin. You don't know when the market's going to go crazy dip. It's always good to be invested in some alts. Not too many. It's a lot to keep up with. So just whatever, you have a lot of conviction in, and of course do your own research and make sure that you're getting not confirmation bias in that research. There's people who will be able to, say something honestly. Don't be emotional about a coin, ultimately. So
unless it's me and, we're talking about Bitcoin. Emotions are run. Fine. I'm flying all over the place. But anyway, this is it. We're going to end this now because it's late and people got to do things like me and get the hell out of the house. Get out of Dodge, people. Till next time, Technical Tuesdays, we are out. Peace.